Coming back to sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but that doesn't change. Suicide bombers in healthcare.
Suicide bombers are bad.
Well, yeah.
Then again,
healthcare,
they're dead.
Our healthcare system, well, it sucks. So we're gonna have to figure out something new. Yeah, currently.
Yes, we are. By electing Trump, 2016.
So the computer systems used to solve the problems with the children can also be used to find terrorists and profile them as well. There has been many makeup made. Basically, they put makeup over everything so they don't have to do as much work because they're not getting paid enough.
The whole computer system and the facial or whatever ID crap. Now, it has a 99% success rate, so you have 500 potential terrorists. It only identifies positively 100%, 495 of them, leaving 5 of them somewhere else. But then also the population of England, where the study was taken, you're also having, say if the population is a whole buttload, you're also having a lot more people falsely identified as terrorists. And then that is outweighing the whole 495 people that are like positively ID'd. See, now 99% is nowhere near as accurate or where it should be. It should be at 100% or 115% for all I care.
And that goes all the way back to hurricanes, because global warming and hurricanes and the ocean water influences global warming. So technically, Hurricane Jimmy Buffett, you know Hurricane Island?
Yeah, sure.
Well, he's got Margaritaville and they got Hurricane Island too. So we're going to go back to global warming. So the ocean water technically is warmer, so it influences the warm air and the cold air mix, and then the warm water just picks up, and now we got a big windstorm of rain.
Yes, we do.
In a big circle.
Do you want the light on or no?
All right.
Yeah, it's all right. We're all good.
All right. Technical producers, they got to fix everything.
Yeah, lighting.
All right. So, while mostly the big cow-producing companies, they produce a lot of methane gas.
Because cows poop. Cows?
There we go.
They poop. As does everyone.
Because they eat. And they eat grass and corn and stuff like that.
And a lot of their crap produces methane. Boom. This is a lot more potent to like all the greenhouse gases. Yeah, that's greenhouse gas. It's ruined the earth. Yeah, oh wow, super duper. But it produces a lot more methane than every other thing that takes craps. And it's a lot more dangerous than carbon dioxide released by cars and like that. So just some people are like, hey, we should eat more kangaroo. Kind of like a whole Chick-fil-A thing, eat more beef or chicken, I don't know. But it's eat kangaroo because the more you eat, though kangaroos, they don't release methane when they take a dump. So in the end, it's reducing greenhouse gases. But I don't see the benefit of eating kangaroo because you're not going to transform America's way of hey, beef, we're manly.
Yeah, because the steak is just a representation of America. But also, as America, everyone's responsible for the global warming because we all release emissions. Whether we fart or we drive a car, it's the same thing. We're releasing
One of us
stuff.
do more than the other.
Well, that's true. I
drive, so
you can figure out that by yourself. Now, we can't be just 100% sure as to why such a controversy comes over this these short-term effects of global warming as to the long-term that come with environmental impacts. But as he said, the cows, you can't stop cows from doing their business. But you could make less cows, but that would cause inflation in
the beef industry.
And then the whole world would be upset.
Your McDonald's dollar menu goes to your McDonald's $5 menu. And it's basically the same thing when they want $15 an hour to match up some circles that they can't manage to do. Now, bumping back to terrorist attacks. 9/11. Horrible event. Okay. That terrified people into not flying. They didn't want to fly because they felt like something was going to happen, like flying the towers and stuff. But that caused a lot of people to travel by car, and it's a known fact that traveling by car is a lot more dangerous than flying, which in the end caused a lot of car crashes because you have more people on the roads, still continuously causing people to die because they get in car crashes.
All right.
And the failed guy that had bombs in his shoes. That's why we have to remove our shoes going through a TSA checkpoint that's a mile long in an airport that's only a quarter mile wide. Now, we take our shoes off because of that. Now, does that really have an effect? Yeah, because the guy couldn't even detonate a bomb. So, in reality, if terrorists really wanted to scare us and paranoid us, they could just throw a few wires in a block of cheese and call it a cheese bomb. And all of a sudden, the cheese industry is going to take a huge dump because they're scared of cheese.
All right. Well,
it happens.
You can relate that all. Prostitution, suicide bombers, freaking health for all that really matters. Psychology psychology for the animals too. And it could all be intertwined into economics. Because everything costs money, and even prostitution, it can be hard to make conclusions as to the prostitution.
Yeah, because prostitution is such a hard industry. Yeah, you gotta get your degree in prostitutionology.
It can be, it's a big problem that you can't really solve because it's not really as wanted as it used to be. I mean, prices go down and the problem is they go after the supplier and they don't go after the consumer.
They go after the prostitutes.
So when one prostitute gets arrested, a new one just comes back in because there's some kind of demand for it. But until you take out the consumers, there's always going to be new prostitutes looking to get some.
You're taking out the prostitutes and you're taking out them to say that they're the dealers of the sex, the consumers of the sex getting. If you take them and basically hold public hangings, that prostitution industry will completely crash. If people are seeing that, if I'm caught buying a prostitute and I get hung in front of my best friend, that's going to send the message that this is no joke here. We do not want prostitution.
And also, it's the statistics that go with everything. There's only so much that the face value or the facts can really back up. So when you have when the story is basically just left by itself, you only have just the basic part that you could relate to economics. So basically, when you relate economics to all this stuff, there's just a way to incorporate it, like prostitution. They're only trying to have sex because they want money. And suicide bombers.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how that works. But they're trying to make people lose money, basically, with their terroristic actions.
Now, people think that suicide bombers are coming from low income families over in Afghanistan in their caves and whatnot.
But they're really not.
No.
That's not the fact.
And granted, a lot of them don't make it through high school, but some of them do. Some of them are college graduates.
I mean, some of them, yes.
A good number come from middle and upper class families. It's kind of like the whole drug thing. Just because you're in an upper class family doesn't mean you're going to use and abuse drugs, and doesn't mean you're not going to buy a prostitute. They have money.
And you could look it related to the fact that drunk driving and terrorists, I don't know how you make that assumption together, but I guess they're both dangerous because, I mean, look at the assumption that one is that if you choose, between, from the story, how walking and
walking is a lot more dangerous than driving.
Well, it's as dangerous as driving drunk because if there's a drunk driver and you're walking, they're not going to pay attention to you, and if they swerve, they're going to kill you. As well for a drunk driver, you're driving drunk under the influence of alcohol, and your brain isn't as receptive as it should be, so you see things unclearly, and then you start to drive erratically and illegally because it's against the law.
Yeah, but majority of the times, for every, 27,000 times that someone drives drunk, they're more likely going to be caught only one time. So people, they don't know that, but if they did, I'm sure that a lot more drunk driving will occur, causing a lot more problems. But friends don't let friends walk drunk.
Problems. That leads to controversy. Controversy leads to global warming.
And that's why people don't shut up.
And that's why we got
a lot of heat.
Yeah, no one shuts up. We got the mad bloggers who blog about everything under the sun on how penguins are going extinct. Though they're not. And then you got scientists
When's the last time I ate a penguin?
When's the last time you hit a penguin with your car? Exactly. How is my car going to affect a penguin? I can't hit a penguin. They live in the cold place. I don't know. It's not that cold where I live. It's like 65 degrees on Christmas here. So,
yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's Tom Snedeker. Or Joe Snedeker. Same thing. I just mixed them up.
Tom Clark?
Yeah.
News Watch 16. Might as well bring it all in. All right. So, as criticized, first, bloggers are criticized for quoting scientists because they get their facts wrong, and they just read these ridiculous reports that they find on Facebook, and they click on them, and they're like, wow, this is right, but it's really not.
And I read a lot of stuff on Facebook,
but
don't get me wrong.
But, I mean, taking a quote from a scientist is not wrong, but there are many misquoted scientists.
I mean, look at Bill Nye. Great guy. Yeah, he says a lot of true stuff.
He's a science guy.
Yes,
he must know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He has a degree.
Well, where does the freak come into Freakonomics?
Prostitutes.
All right. What about Superfreakonomics?
Super freaky prostitutes.
All right. Well, we're not going to use that because that's wrong. Superfreakonomics. It goes to show these crazy interpretations that people see about just normal issues. I mean, prostitutes a normal issue. I mean, you hear sexual talk is just common every day.
I mean, look at Spencer's. I was in Spencer's my whole weekend.
That's besides the point.
It's prevalent. I mean, you're watching TV and people have their butts hanging out with their shorts and whatnot. When I was younger, I was watching Nickelodeon. Now I'm watching Family Guy or whatever at 5 in the afternoon. Now you have little kids seeing this stuff. It's corrupting the mind.
Now as well, we could get we use to help the effects on global warming. Instead of coal burning power plants and stuff like that, we have windmills. We get wind. How is wind created? Do you know?
I don't know, blowing stuff.
All right. Well, I forget. That was in 9th grade IME, so I do not remember. But wind, it's a force. It goes this way. And then there's a windmill, and it goes like that. And then it goes down through the shaft, and then clean electricity, basically, is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Now, the controversy with that, about all this clean energy, is how much pollution do they have to cause to actually make this? To make the actual, the power plants and...
Nothing's clean, all right? We get it. Nothing's clean.
So...
There's going to be negative and positive effects to just about everything. Some more negative, some more positive. You see it how you see it, I see it how I see it, and this is how we go on with our life. We all carry on.
And going back to the... What is this paper?
So much written down.
Yeah. All right, back to unbelievable stories about apathy and altruism.
I don't know.
Right. In March 1964, late on a cold, damp Thursday night, something terribly happened in New York City, suggesting that human beings are most brutally selfish animals to ever roam the planet, comparing humans to just nasty animals that you'll find in the African safari. Basically, someone getting stabbed in the back is just as bad as a cheetah running after a gazelle and eating it alive.
The thing is, getting stabbed in the back by a human's a lot different than getting attacked by a cheetah. One, you can eat the cheetah. Two, you can't really eat the person attacking you. Unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer, then you do your own thing. But it's a little bit different.
Now,
I have no clue what I'm talking about.
There's yes you do. I mean, you read most of the book. You read enough of it to understand that.
I had a week.
Yeah. Yes, you did. But when you're tired and you want to go back to bed,
we drink rocks.
And the 13th anniversary of Bill Clinton's presidency.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
It sends a criminal vibe to people as they believe just groundbreaking social behavior from the news.
No. God, the news.
So
that's why we don't trust CNN.
Liberal. Very liberal. But that's besides the point as well. So basically like donating a kidney.
I have kidneys.
Well, it's illegal to sell your own body parts.
But Planned Parenthood does it anyway. Just baby parts. They're like the Jeffrey Dahmer of the medical world.
You have
Without
to be
eating them.
You have to be dead in order to donate your body parts,
Apparently you do. Because if you take your body parts, you'll no longer be alive.
and you can't sell them either.
I feel like it's my body. I'm allowed to sell my own body. It's called prostitution, there, buddy. Organ prostitution.
Well, I mean, if you donate your kidney to save your uncle's life, I mean that's altruism. I mean,
Indeed. You keep talking. Taking notes.
all right. As well, wow.
Yes.
I'm stuck. This is I found this to be a very difficult chapter.
Indeed, we did.
All right.
Yes, we do.
So we're gonna have to
Yes.
coming back to you from Swole America because we're swole enough for you and me. All right.
They call me Donald Pump.
So the fix is in, and it's cheap and simple. In the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 85s,
Let's not throw in 90s too.
90s, just all the time. It's been illegal for a child, to ride in a car without a seatbelt. And that's, in fact, when...
I mean, I don't know about the whole 60s and 70s because we didn't really have seatbelts until like the government decided to step in and say, hey, we can't kill ourselves anymore.
All right, well...
That really
all right,
reduced
all right.
the whole...
In the late 70s, let's just say it started. And also, I mean, every child had to wear a car seat, seatbelt, which saved lives. But then, I mean, eventually car seats and booster seats came in because you had to be so old.
Yeah, or just so fat. Like, I didn't have to ride in a car seat when I was in 3rd grade because I was overweight.
That is true. That is allowed. Now, most motor vehicle deaths have been because the children haven't been wearing seatbelts. And it has been declining rapidly because car seats save lives, booster seats save lives, seatbelts themselves save lives.
Yeah, they do.
Cars being made collapsible frames, which, I mean, just overall, I mean, it releases the impact from you going forward, and, I mean, it kind of saves lives.
Yeah, cars save lives, they do. That's why a lot more people survive car crashes than motorcycle crashes. You want to know why? It's because you're literally riding a metal horse.
Well,
You fall off, you're dead.
I mean, it also goes along with the SUV and the minivan being the optimum ride or optimum whip, as they call it, for children. If you have a child, because
obviously, if you have a minivan, you have a child, because 90% of them have the stickers on the back that advertise, "Hey, I have a family." But then again, when I see that and I see a person in a minivan, the first thought that pops in their head is, "Oh man, they're single and they get out a lot."
And
if you have a minivan, you probably have a family.
When you got 3,000 pounds of car backing you up, I mean, if you hit a little car, I mean, that little kiddo on the back is not going to get hurt. Same with an SUV. I mean, they're pretty big. They're heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Bad on gas. Bad for the environment. That's why SUVs, children, are bad. No, I'm joking.
That's why we buy
awful.
Priuses.
Yeah, you buy a Prius.
Or you can spend $130,000 on a BMW that's electric. But I don't have that kind of
a huge hunk of plastic that's cost way too much money.
Yeah.
Just like everything from the Highway Traffic Administration and just everything. I mean, this entire book just goes on about how
it's how we think, how we live our life, and how super freaky we are with our thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, a quote. There is oh, that's from the wrong chapter.
Same potato.
I'm sorry. The quote's in here somewhere. I forget where it's. Oh, all right. And this came essentially no cost with great penalties for wearing them, and that is for seatbelts.
Mm-hmm.
There's big penalties if you don't wear it.
Well, click it or ticket. It's the law.
Yeah, and secondhand smoking with children in the car. The kids get bad lungs.
Yeah, they're trying to pass something like that anymore.
Yeah, trying to do something like that.
Will they? Probably not.
Probably not. But you know, it happens. It's life.
Crazy things have happened. I mean, look at Obama.
We're at 19 minutes, and this video is a little bit too long. So.
I think we should just call this thing a Christmas present and wrap it up. Alright, so we're going to build a wall And then keep the rest of the video out.
Yeah.
So this is where we're gonna cut it.
So we're gonna cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Superfreakonomics, global cooling.
Make America great again.
We need to cool the planet because it's getting too warm.
It's getting too heated here.
Patriotic prostitutes, because the 4th of July is a great time for Chicago. Let's just put it that way. And cops. Suicide bombers should buy life insurance because, hey, economics.
By the way, your family doesn't get the money from the life insurance policy if you commit suicide.
They don't. Especially if you bomb someone else. You have to pay for that.
There's a pretty good chance that people with both Muslim names, like Muslim first name and last name, have a greater chance of being like a terrorist than rather than a person with a Muslim first name, like generic last name, or some dude named Ian coming out of like Dallas.
That's true.
Chances are he's not going to be sympathizing with ISIS.
Chances are 54% of children age 1 to 4. And that is the... Huh?
I thought we were going to end it.
Oh. Alright, we'll end it.
Alright, there we are.
Alright.
This is it, Superfreakonomics.
Don't forget...
we tried our best.
Benny OG Franks.
We really tried this.
Donald Pump. And we're out.